Hello there, it's me Rama with another tutorial for you, this time on the concept of a world event action system. So if you're familiar with this project I'm making, I call it the Rama Code project, providing you with a bunch of samples of different fun things, different toys, different mechanics that you can use in your own game. I give you the whole project, the AI code, all the game code, the assets, everything that I'm using, I'm providing to you to accelerate your own development in UE5, because this is an entirely UE5 project. UE5 only project. I started in, hey, how you doing? I started in UE5. She is tracking me. Alright, whoa, okay, that was a little farther than I thought. So, first thing I'm going to demonstrate then, while I have this lovely AI girl, AI goddess following me around, I'd like to point out to you that there's nothing here, okay? Nothing, right? Okay, just don't forget that there's nothing here. See, even she agrees with me, right? Don't you agree there's nothing here, dear? She don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. Nobody sees nothing. Okay, just keep that in mind. Alright, I'm gonna have her go back on patrol. Do you mind going back on patrol? I guess she wants to keep playing. Alright, sorry, I have to talk to all the lovely... She just reset... I wasn't expecting her to do that. Okay, intermission. Check this out. I did this with C++, and I provide the code to you for how I did this, so you can see how the whole thing works. And then one more time with the fancy lighting. Check out the reflections. Okay. So, the AI started that, it wasn't me. So, you'll have to talk to the AI about that. You'll have to talk to the goddess AI girls about it. Alright, so back on to our main focus. This is a world event action system. Here's a simple demonstration. Creating a loop that disappears when you go through it or perform some action. Relatively simple concept. Oh, I haven't talked about these either. Welcome. These are called fun funds. I think you're going to like them. This is what they do. Ready? Harmless little things, really? No, not really. They're intense. And they're using real physics. This isn't any kind of simulated physics, it's real physics, so they have really fun bouncing patterns, and they're one of the aspects of the puzzle system. So a world event action system means certain actions are performed and then you want to do certain other things, but you don't want it to only be too locked down into only one thing, like, oh, if this loop activates it will only ever, you know, create a certain projectile or something. You want to have a large variety of things. So what's the best way to set that up? That's what I'm going to be demonstrating today. First, I just want to show the system in action. So I shoot that button, and then this, you saw that floor button appeared. So shoot button, floor button appears, and then floor button activates loop. But these things only stay active for a certain amount of time. Jump through the, oh! It wasn't fast enough, the button reappeared. Alright, and then go through quickly, and then this thing appears. But then it disappears. So you get the, there's a chain of events here. Check this out, ready? So this here, I missed. Alright, I'm gonna be serious this time, ready? And then activate that. Oh, I missed! The fun didn't make it in. It's kind of like playing soccer in the sky, or yeah, sort of like basketball. Oh, not fast enough, got stuck again. Okay, I'm gonna get this, ready? Okay, fire fun, and then thing appeared. I did it! This is a mesh that I made that I'm utterly fascinated with. When you make your own custom meshes, you'll feel the same way about your creations too. I love my custom mesh. Alright, now remember the whole thing about there being nothing here? Let's see what the AI thinks of that custom mesh, ready? Just pointing out the joys of Unreal Engine. Check this out. I'm gonna get away from girl, cause she's never seen this thing before. Oh, she don't seem to have a problem with this thing at all. So, dynamic navigation system updating for this. Remember I walked by this part at the very beginning of the video and there was nothing here? Check it out now. She's got no problem with this at all. She's for tracking me just so. In fact, I can't stay on the thing because she's tracking me so well. And she's coming back for me now. Alright, I'm gonna put her back on. Very gently request that she go back on patrol duty. So, there you have it. That is the basic world action system that I'm talking about, where you do a series of things and other cool things happen. But to give you a sense of why having a system for this is so useful, is that in the classic model of creating world events, you select your object that has some special ability, like let's use this button for example, and then in the level blueprint you have to add a new event, and it's going to be joyful activate, but it already exists in this case, and then here this action is performed, which is to perform an editor reset. Right, so this is all in the level blueprint. So it's kind of time consuming to quickly create a chain of events like you see here. So that's why I invented the action system. So now this is the Rama world event action system. I might come up with a more succinct name at some point. But if you look and I type in joy, as you know, that's the way to organize everything. You see here actions to perform, and there's an action, there's a set of different actions that can be performed, and there's a possible duration before deactivating, and then there's targets, like what should the unit be targeting. So this button here is targeting this Taurus, right? But then this Taurus, when she activates, she's got a target too. So you see here, targets, there's 7 targets, which are all these pieces of platform, right? And when the platform gets touched, the platform has an action too. When the platform gets touched, then it triggers the appearance, make visible, of the fun goal, which I missed the first time you saw that happen. So, then when the fun goal gets activated, because you throw a fun through the goal, then this target activates, and she turns herself off, make hidden, she hides, this loop hides herself. Then 2, you have 2 targets, the cylinder and the path, that's these 2 custom meshes. And then the 3rd action is to disable the self, disable the fun goal. She disables herself so she can't be reactivated because you've already completed the end of this particular action sequence. The final thing is to make visible this flower key, which is right here, which starts invisible. So this loop, when the fun goes through the goal, all this cool stuff happens. It can be any number of actions, and it's very succinct and very easy to set up. And as a result, you can create these chains of sequences very quickly. So now that you know all that, I'm going to show the sequence one more time. So this is projectile activated, creates a floor button, go through the thing, So that fun little sequence, real fast. Oh boy, I better watch out. I forgot about the fun. the one danger with fun goals. So let's pretend, so I completed the sequence, right? So let's pretend that I have to reset for some reason. And the editor reset now resets the AI. From a previous video, you'll see that it was resetting physics. Now editor reset resets the AI, and it resets sequences like this too, so that you can do it again. Okay, I better get the flower key and get away from that fun. Okay, so that's the sequence. Now, to show you the system in action, we're going to add a new one together. But first, the only thing I'm going to do is take this girl and I'm going to make her visible. So, joy to filter. You see here, starts hidden, right? So I'm going to change that to visible. I'm going to show you what it's like trying to do the same sequence when an AI girl's targeting you. So this is her fire pattern. This is very exciting. Okay, so watch me try to do the same sequence while she's shooting at me. Ready? Okay, shoot the thing, go up the thing, and then stop, and then go. Okay, that time I did it perfect on the first try. But normally it's a lot harder when someone's firing at you, which is why I want to do a fun little thing together. So let's make this a little more challenging, shall we? Let's have it so that she will have her own little platform to stand on. Alright, so I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to... this is going to be hard. Okay, let's put that right there, and let's put her up here. She's got her own little place, and I'm going to put her all the way over here so that she can have the highest chance of making this process way more exciting for our dear player. Okay, so she's now up there. Now she starts visible now, which is no longer my desired behavior. I want her to start hidden again. This platform also starts hidden. I'm going to remove the action list here. You see here, starts hidden. So now, when, let's see, how do we want to do this? So this is where we can get creative. It could be when the player goes through the hoop. It could be when the player makes the button visible. I think it'll be really fun. Let's have it when you go through the hoop. So the action system, so watch how easy it is using this action system I've invented for world events to very quickly set this up instead of having to do the level blueprint. So I'm going to add a new element. The action is going to be make visible, and they're going to be visible for 2 seconds, and there are going to be 2 entries. Now I pick, and I'm done. That was it. And I added to the already existing action, which was to make this series of platforms visible, right? Okay, so now let's test this out, shall we? Okay, so now notice girl's gone. Let me turn this on. I'm gonna go, and there she is. I fell. Now she's gone. Gonna turn this on and go, and there she is. And I fell again, and she's gone again. All right, I'm not doing this deliberately. I'm just I'm busy. All right, I'm gonna bounce off. See, I knocked. Oh, she's gone. Turn it on again and go. And there she is. She's back. Check it out. Okay. All right. Very exciting. Let's see if I can complete the sequence. All right, and turn this on. Oh, knocked off. All right. Try again. Although I did actually win, it's too much fun, so I'm going to do it again. Alright. Let's do it. I want to do it without getting knocked off. Alright, so here's a thought. When she appears, I'm going to try to... someone activated the thing. I'm going to try to shoot her off, or bounce her off, doesn't hurt her. And then I'm going to try to... Okay, well, hey, I landed. I did not touch ground. Did you see that? I rather enjoyed that. But it's too much fun, and now there's many ways to do this sequence already. I'm going to try for the speed round. Ready? I'm just going to try to whiz past her. And nothing happened. I didn't jump correctly. Alright, this thing's having its own party. Whee! It's okay. Speed round, speed round, speed round. Okay, I can do this. And I did it! I did not get shot by the girl. Barely. Okay, so that took like 4 seconds to set up, right? So that's the basis of the system. Now how it works in code is that I have a interface, a blueprint interface, which I call the Joy Game interface. The interface has a bunch of functions like make visible, starts hidden, and then things like editor reset. And the reason I'm using an interface is because I'm using characters, I have static meshes, I have these special buttons, these loops. There's many, and this button, there's many different classes, none of which can't all come from the same base class. Maybe theoretically they could, but in practice it's fun to set things up quickly. Kind of impossible with characters because your character will probably extend the character class and you can't just suddenly change that. So instead you set up an interface. And the interface is then implemented by each class. I have my action list here. It's just an enum. And then each action has this set of data, but the excitement starts when you go to implement the interface. And if you're not familiar with blueprint interfaces, I thought I'd give you a fun little introduction to them. So the first step is when you create a new interface. Let's do that together. So you go in, let's pretend we're making a new one. So you go under blueprint, and it's blueprint interface, right? Then you open it, you add your function, and you set your inputs and your outputs. And that's that, right? Not that complicated. Now once you've done that, now you have to have some blueprint implement that interface. So here is going to be Tor's goal. So go under class settings right there. And then you look for your interface under the section here, implements interface, add, and then you can add another interface. Now once you've done that, you'll see this section appear, and then you can click on the different items to implement them. So for example, get editor transform, and then you can implement it. Now what should the interface contain? All the set of features that you need to describe a world event, like make something visible or perform editor reset. That's in this case. And just with these two concepts, I did everything that you've seen so far, in addition to, for example, making a particle appear or something like that, a particle explosion. So that is the whole system. It is not a complicated system to set up. It is something that you can extend from what I've provided to you, and I'll show a little bit more of what the implementation looks like for setting visible. It's fairly complex because it may have to be instantaneous if you're starting the level, if something starts hidden, or it can occur over a period of time. And if it occurs over a period of time, then I start a timer, and in this timer I change the material, and here I create the material, I apply it, and then I update the material over here. This is a dynamic material instance that gets updated, and I use a clamped range with the alpha of the timer, which is from over here. And all of this that I'm showing you, you have access to. I'm giving you the whole project. You can check everything out, but I wanted you to see what the end result is so that you know that the journey of learning how it all works is well worth it, because then you can just start making fun things happen. So as a final fun thing, and because I don't know if it can be done, let's add a second girl, shall we? Now she'll start hidden, but someone has to set her visible, and this loop can do it because she's the one who did the other girl. And so here we have make visible. We have the first, call her green crystal. So let's get the other green crystal girl here. Alright, green crystal 3. And the other thing to note about these girls And the reason they target the player immediately is because I have a handy little boolean that says that. So let's go under joy, and you see target player on game start, right? That's why they target the player immediately, unlike the other girls. Okay, party time. Do you think I can do it? Let's find out. Oh, well, hey, now I can introduce you to my Taurus. Yeah. That's gonna take a, well, okay, that was, trust me, it can be done. But I'm gonna leave it for you to experience that yourself. Okay. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, false start. I wonder if we should try to knock one of the girls. Didn't get very far. I think a speedrun's probably going to be safer. Oh, landed it. Ah, got knocked off anyway, but hey, I landed it. Alright, so there you have it. That is my introduction to a world event action system where you can very quickly add to your experience, and the level blueprint is not involved. And that's the huge advantage, just because it takes a long time to open and close and flip through the windows, and it's not quite as directly visual as literally just take the unit, select, you saw me add, I click the dropper, and I'm done. Right? Okay, right in the all in the level viewport. So I guess the hallmark of my system is you never have to leave the level viewport. You're always envisioning the whole scene all together, so you can focus on things like jump distance instead of constantly clicking around and trying to keep the whole scene in your perspective. Alright. Okay, you know what has to happen. Seems like a simplistic decision, but I really want to know if I can do it. I'm in the realm of having fun now. The tools are working. Time to have fun. And you have this project, so you can play like I'm playing too. Oh, first time. Oh, they didn't even get a shot off. Did you see that? They didn't. Alright, demonstration complete. So I hope you enjoyed this introduction, and let's see how long this scene lasts before everything explodes. Hi, where did you come from? No, I wouldn't, dear, I wouldn't wander back into there if I were you. I don't know how many Funfuns are still alive. Is this safe? Well, she seems to know the way. I just stay away from her. Okay, alright, we're fine. We're fine. Keep moving. Keep moving. Alright, so I hope you have a lovely day. Enjoy.